Sagittarius, this is Drunk Tarot. This is your Sagittarius 18 reading. As some of you guys know who have been cross-watching, I'm doing 4 separate storylines, 4 separate readings. And then at the end, I'm going to do one love reading across the board. Trying to get energy going for you guys. Some people like the PM energy, which is me super chill with a glass of wine, listening to classical music. Some people actually like the high energy, the high octane energy when I'm fresh out the gym. Mind is crisp and clear right now. Not that it's not for the other reading. But anyways, we're going to get into it, Sagittarius. Let me see what's going on this month. Don't forget we have Venus retrograde happening. You can talk to an astrologer about all that. I just know that it's going to create some conflict and frustration for anybody dealing with intimate relationships, the communication there. Even if you're in a pretty happy domestic partnership, there's going to be some blow up, some frustration. People aren't going to be able to express the way they want to express. And so there might be some like angry sex happening for some of you guys. So that's a possibility. What else? The other thing I want to say is don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's a private account, Instagram drunk.tarot, because I do live readings there, like randomly, where I can just I'll just answer questions and things like that. Also, if like you're someone like Benford or Nathaniel, Booty Stank, whoever you are, whatever your aliases are, all the trolls out there, just know that when you write stupid stuff, you get blocked, like instantly. It's not a conversation. Because I don't have time for that. So if you want to spread love on the comments, please do so. If you want to have a laugh with me and crack jokes, if you guys notice, I do there's no automatic way to do it. So I do heart the comments when I see them and I like them, and then I'll answer back if I have time. But yeah, and that's it. So let's get rolling. So just be cool in the comments, you guys. Otherwise you just get completely blocked. And if you're super gnarly, then you just get reported. So, who has time for that? Don't. You're just wasting your energy. Just be positive, you guys. Okay. Sagittarius, 4 storylines. Storyline A, B, C, or D will resonate with you. All 3 will, all 4 will, 1 will, 2 will, none will. It doesn't matter. We're going to see which storyline. And sometimes what I've been noticing with these 4 storylines here is that you'll see sometimes all 4 will resonate, but I break them up and then it'll be like, oh, that's a specific scenario. But then the energies will kind of trickle over to all 4, if that makes sense. But anyways, we're just going to watch it. At the end of this, we'll do a whole love reading. So let's get into what's going to happen for Sagittarius in this particular group. Some people timestamp the storylines, but some people don't, because I think most just watch them all because I keep them pretty short. I did shuffle and think about Sagittarius, but I'll think about you guys even more right now. Sagittarius, number 13. Sagittarius team, what's coming through for this group? Coming through for this particular group of Sagittarius. And then so I know other tarot readers do it, but for sure it happens to me where I don't hear a song or watch a movie or anything for a long time, but obviously we have our own mental sort of browser history in our brains. And so I'll just start humming a song or thinking about a song. And so that might affect some of you guys out there. I always find that interesting. I used to think it was stupid, but now I'm I don't know what, when I started shuffling for Sagittarius, I started singing that one song with Puff Daddy and Faith Evans after Princess Diana. And I think Biggie died. Da, 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 da. When this life is over, I know I'll see your face. I'm not a singer, but do you know what I mean? But only her song, Faith's part. So that, I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Oh, I'm missing you. That's the song. I think The Police originally. Okay, so for this particular group of Sagittarius, you guys are being asked to maintain your cool, be patient. Something that you are, I don't feel like you're anxiously waiting for something. I just think that you need nature. You need to let nature take its course. You need to let something run its course. There's a situation that some of you guys are involved in, and you can't do anything about it, really. You're not, it's not that you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. simply it's out of your hands. It's something that you can't handle. It's something, or not handle, it's something that you can't control. So you're being asked to be patient. You're being asked to just be very chill, let something run its course. Not to try to rush or manipulate anything. And I'm just now noticing the crown at the back here. And so I do think that something glorious is waiting for you. Something good is waiting for you. All of this patience that you're showing right now is not going to be for nothing. So just be aware that if you just stay cool, be calm and patient, be even keeled, and allow yourself time to accept a situation, it will end up okay. I'm going to pull a couple more cards here for this. Yeah, there's a revelation. So some secret is being revealed, some truth is being known, something that was hidden for a while is coming to light. And I think you're going to accept that with grace. And I think you're going to show patience throughout the discovery process. So I think this is a good thing. And I think that it's kind of like you're operating on some cool water, some cold energy, not cold as in a scary cold, but you're a Sagittarius. So the point is that you're usually very hopped up. Oh shit, you guys, Jehovah's Witness is coming right up the driveway. They're going. No offense to anybody out there. It's just, who wants to, I don't know, I'm trying to answer the door right now. Anyway, sorry about that. What I'm saying is that Sagittarians, you guys are high energy, high, vibrancy, very talkative and active and energetic, right? So right now, everything is very chill. And it's almost like you're surveying the situation. You're allowing things to come to light. You're allowing things to develop as they do. You're showing great patience throughout this process. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Gemini. And I do think that there is a revelation or an offer or something from the Gemini that you are taking in, but I don't know if you're going to accept it. Quick example, Brad Pitt is a Sagittarius and Angelina Jolie is a Gemini, and they're going through the most extended celebrity divorce thing and like whatever. And every time you read about them, it's like, oh, they just got to get, or they're working on it. They're coming to terms with a divorce, and they're chill, or, whatever. So some of you guys could be in a situation similar to that. Just be aware that as a Sagittarian, your positioning right now is allowing these revelations to take hold, allowing others who might be involved to, you're just stepping off to the side and allowing this to sort of transpire the way it will. And I do think that if there is a separation from somebody, it doesn't have to be a Gemini, you're okay with that. You're allowing this other person to come to the realization that something is changing or is over or is not working out for you anymore. And you're like, I said peace. I said what I had to say. And I'm just going to allow this situation to unfold the way it's going to unfold. Okay. So that's it for this group of Sagittarius. Let's move on to the second storyline. This is storyline B or storyline 2, whether you're a numbers person or a letters person. What's coming through for storyline 2? What's good in the Sagittarius hood for this group of people? Okay, so for this group of Sagittarius, I think for some time you guys were obviously in a state of feeling trapped or stuck or just mentally abused or mentally victimized, and you felt as if you were just this is a story of someone being in between a rock and a hard place. Like you were like, I can't do something because of everything was, contingent upon something else. And it was like you laid a lot of blame on something else, or a lot of, I can't do X, Y, or Z because everything hangs in the balance with this situation here. So I have to wait for that. The beginning of October, you come to terms with the fact that you are the master of your own destiny. You have free will. You are not trapped or stuck anywhere. You just aren't. Even though you think you are, these are man-made restraints that you've put on yourself or that you've accepted. And I think a lot of human beings, obviously, we feel that way. And it's almost like, you've got the folks who live outside of these restraints, these man-made restraints. And I'm getting to like cryptic and ethereal right now. What I'm trying to say is that if you're in a job that you can't stand, and you're like, I have to keep this job because I have mortgage or I have rent or I have these bills or have this, or they have health benefits and I can't leave a job without health benefits. And you think, and you're like, I'm stuck. I have to stay here, but I hate it. No, no, no. There is another job out there that has health benefits. There is another job out there that you can get that pays the same amount or more. There is another living situation or arrangement you can work out for yourself. There is another way to get to work. You don't have to buy a car to get to work. They have public transportation. They have Uber. There's another way. There's always another way. So these man-made restraints that you've like accepted as like the only way to live on earth as a human being, they're fucking lies. And I think that at some point, and that's just an example. That's just an example. So don't like trip and be like, money doesn't grow on trees. Shush up. That's just an example. The point I'm trying to make to you here is that at some point in over, whatever these man-made restraints are, you've actually turned the corner and said, actually, no. You suddenly see things through optimistic eyes, and that's a good thing. And over, you decide, you know what? I can find another job. I can find another source of income. I don't have to live. I don't have to buy a home. Fuck being a homeowner. Why do I want to buy a home? I don't need the headache of changing a water heater. I'll rent, you know? Or if you're in a relationship or stuck in any relationship or partnership with someone, for this group of Sagittarius, you can decide, I don't need to be in this relationship anymore. I thought I did, but I don't. And so that energy is starting to come through where you're starting to see a way out, and you recognize that all of these issues and problems and barriers and obstacles were all self-made, self-imposed. You were doing a little bit of, poor me, I'm a victim. And now you're digging into that Sagittarius energy where you're like, okay, there's a goal. I'm an archer. I want to get there. So I'm going to pull back the bow and I'm going to shoot straight there. That's like the worst, whatever it is, metaphor, analogy I could have ever done in life, but there it was. So, okay, let's keep going. Yeah. So I do think it has something to do with work for a lot of you guys, because I do see that, if not work, then just, personal finances. I do think that you might have hit a personal finance snag. Between the two, I do think it's more personal finance than actual, like the workplace. It could be the workplace for some of you guys. I think that you're looking at your bills, you're looking at like, okay, listen, if you have fucking Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix, and you only watch Netflix, get rid of Amazon Prime and Hulu. Do you know what I mean? So these are adjustments that you need to make in your life. Because that's where I think that you thought you were stuck. And now you're in a place where you're like, I can move forward. I'll just get rid of some things and then find that sort of balance back in my life. I think that there was a feeling of lack of abundance. I think probably you will probably feel like, you know what it is? This card right here is giving me the vibe that I recognize that, you could be dealing with a Taurus, and some of you guys might have felt like you lost a pregnancy, or you might have lost a pregnancy or something. And then you're like, it's never going to happen. Yeah, it is. You'll be fine. You have to, move on. You have to keep going. And that's 100% not me telling you move on from a miscarriage or anything like that. I'm just saying that where there's a will, there is a way. And so whatever that feeling of fertility, actual physical fertility, or financial fertility, or project, growth, or anything like that, wherever there was a feeling of lack of abundance, it's up to you to pull yourself out of that and find that balance again and to move forward for this particular group of Sagittarius. There is no time for you, for sure with this card, I'm seeing there's no time for you to sit in a state of this. So in other words, you will be moving out of this energy and into a feeling of abundance and balance, even though the abundance, you don't see it right away. Because you were like, well, I once was a baller and now I'm just trying to keep head above water. That's the case for a lot of you guys. And that's okay. That's called life. Okay. So there's nothing wrong here in terms of things to fear or worried about, because with this card right here, you're definitely moving out of that negative space, that negative energy number. And especially with this card here, I feel like you're gaining your balance back. So you're starting to see things with clarity, and you are going to be able to move on. It's going to take a minute for you guys to get back into this mode. So give yourself some time. Don't rush it. Be strategic about it. But this does say growth and abundance. And in the reverse right here, it's just that you don't see it right now, but it's coming. Okay. So that's this group of Sagittarius. Let's move on to storyline C. Let's see if this is your group. Let me know in the comments which ones resonate. I know that some of these readings are, someone wrote that these readings were really boring. I don't know. Do you want me to put a fucking dick on the desk? Like, I don't know what you guys want in terms of making these readings more exciting. If you got, like I said before, if you guys want drama, if you guys want third party situation, someone's cheating on somebody, someone's backstabbing somebody, go to another reader. I don't see it here. If I see it here, I'll let you know. I said, do you guys want me to put my dick on the desk? What a psycho drunk tarot. Okay. Sagittarius, for this group, this is group C. Group C. What's coming through for group C? Don't forget, you guys stand by for the end of the reading. I'm going to do one love reading for all. This is group C. Group C, Sagittarius, group C. What's coming through for group C? All right, all right, all right. This is the Matthew McConaughey card. For this particular group of Sagittarius, you guys are celebrating something, some hope or wish. It doesn't have to be major, just something that you were kind of hoping to go your way. Maybe some of you guys were in a stagnant position, emotionally or even physically, mentally, whatever that was. Something happens at the beginning, maybe at the end of our tour, where you start to feel that shift and you're like, you know what? Things are okay. Things are turning around. I don't really have any drama. I don't have anything going on in my life, really negative. Things are turning around. I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe you got a handle on something. Maybe you got a handle on, maybe, I know that people say that that's the devil card, but for this right now, I'm feeling like some of you guys were maybe overindulging and maybe you guys got a handle on it. Maybe you guys saw yourself slipping back into a 3-drink minimum every Thursday and Friday night. And now you're like, you know what? I'm only going to have 1 or 2 on Friday. And I'll be in bed by like, at the latest. Whatever that is. Some of you guys got into a place where your celebrations and popping the cork and getting excited might have been getting away from you. And so I think that at the beginning of October with the 9 of Cups, you're happy, you're pleased with how things are going in your life, but you're not overindulging. You're not going bananas over it. Sometimes, we'll see what the other cards say. Sometimes this card definitely says you guys are celebrating way too much. But usually in the reverse, it's saying that it doesn't, like a wish didn't come through, or you're overindulging. You're celebrating, you're eating, drinking, sleeping in way too much, partying too much. But this right here says that something is happening. You feel good about it. You're feeling positive and over. So if you're waiting for news about anything, you guys, you're going to get good news. And you're going to be like, yeah, that's what I wanted. This feels great. For some of you guys, maybe you step on the scale and you're like, what? I wasn't even trying to lose weight. Just lost 5 pounds just by eating right and keeping busy. Whatever the case is, something happens. You get news. You get news and you're happy about it and you celebrate and you have a couple drinks. Wow. So for some of you guys, for sure, in this reading, it seems like you are finding yourself hitting your personal independence, hitting your stride. You're taking care of yourself. This is a Beyonce card. So you are just like financially independent. If not, you're well on your way because you heard news about a new job opportunity, another source of income coming in. You're able to splurge a little bit on yourself. Maybe you needed some new, running shoes and you're like, I got the Nike Fly free run shoes and they're $157. I got them on sale for $90. And you're really happy about that. So again, I keep it to like realistic things because I don't want to be too broad. Like this is only a month's worth of reading and it's only one card. So something happens though, and it makes you happy. You're feeling financially independent. You're taking care of yourself. Some of you guys work from home. Some of you guys run your own business. Some of you guys do your own thing. You're getting more clients. People are noticing you online. You're more popular than ever. So you're celebrating that. This combo right here is telling me you are acting and experiencing this Sagittarius that everybody knows and loves. The Britney Spears. It's Britney, bitch. So you're being very like just outgoing and charming and lovely, and people are noticing you, and you're not really concerned. Like there might be chatter, there might be drama around you, and you're like, that's none of my business. I'm happy. That's none of my business. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about counting these coins. And, I just went to IKEA and I got the cutest pair of club chairs to go in the office. So it's things like that, making you happy and everywhere. So let's see. And if this is a love reading, maybe you broke up with someone and the breakup actually went really well and you don't feel guilty. You don't feel ashamed. Something happened, or you're finally, you've recovered from a breakup. Something happened and you've decided, look, I feel better. And I've been hitting the gym and I'm doing a thing and I'm single and I guess I'm open to love, but I'm not really too concerned. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. This is you. I like this combo. Just kidding. So here's the thing. This combo alone is good. When the Magician shows up in reverse, I want you to be careful that you're not using all these strengths and powers and all this positive energy that you've got going on for yourself to manipulate anybody. And that's just a warning to you. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves and we can start to feel like we're actually waking up flawless, like we're actually Beyonce. Then that happens, especially with Sagittarius. And everybody knows, this is a known fact. Sagittarius, sometimes the ego, the ego can become a bit swollen and turn into arrogance. And this is absolutely not a personal attack. So don't tell me I'm attacking you. You can look at any place that talks about the Sagittarians' worst traits, and they'll tell you the same fucking thing. So don't try me. So that's why I think I told you that, it's a feeling of curbing your enthusiasm, essentially. It's you just celebrating yourself, loving yourself, appreciating your independence, your personal growth, appreciating all these wonderful things about yourself, but making sure that you don't turn into like overindulgent and really just be careful that you don't become too extra, because when the ego becomes too swollen with a Sagittarius, you can tend to turn it into something that people aren't attracted to. Remember how I just said everyone loves all these traits about you right now? For this particular group of Sagittarius, you're like, you're so charming. And people are just like, wow, like I'm super into that Sagittarius right now. Just as a human, just wonderful energy. The Magician card in reverse is saying that you want to be careful you're not allowing your ego to get the better of you, and that you're not using all this energy to manipulate scenarios to suit your needs. Does that make sense? Just do you, live beautifully, live your life, be happy. But if a scenario doesn't suit your needs, don't try to manipulate it. Either play the game within the scenario or step out of the scenario. But be careful of this energy right here, because it's not a good look. It just isn't. And then of course, if this is not you, and I know some of you guys will be like, I'm not manipulative, that's not me. Okay. For the where this is not you, and this is, or whatever, that this is not you, you could be dealing with someone in your midst who is trying to manipulate you, who sees your worth, who sees your value, who sees how special you are. And they're like, whoa, I want to get on that train. I want to get on that Sagittarius train right now. What can I do? What can I say? What can I do to get this person to, lend me some of that energy? So be aware of that, you guys, okay? So that's it for that particular reading. Let's go on to group 4. We're at the 6-minute mark. I'm trying to keep these under, but it never happens. Group 4. What's going on for group 14 Sagittarius? What's going on for Sagittarius 18? Group 4, Sagittarius 18, group 4. What's going on for Sagittarius for this particular group? Please tell me what's going on with this Sagittarius for this group 14. Hey, if you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, because sometimes I don't know if I should keep doing these videos or not, or what I should do. I don't make any money doing this. I just do it for fun. But I don't know if I want to keep doing it if people don't like the videos. So just give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, yada, yada, yada. You know how that works. Okay, this is the final group. This particular group of Sagittarius out there, what's going on? See if this resonates. Okay, so some of you guys are on the bench. Some of you guys had to take a time out. You've gone within. Someone told you something about yourself, and on the surface, you were like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You shut your pie hole. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know my life. You don't know life. But secretly, you drove away like, ooh, that sucked. Someone told me a little bit about myself. I didn't like that. And now I'm going to go home and cry about it in New York Super Fudge in front of Bravo because I don't know how to take that, what they said about me. And it's easy to have that kind of bravado when someone hits you with the truth, especially about you, and you feel you're at an age where no one can tell you anything about yourself. No one can tell you shit. You know what you're doing. But then if enough people say the same thing, you got to sit back and say, what am I doing wrong? How am I not perfect yet? So some of you guys, were hit with the truth at some point, and it doesn't have to be like a confrontation or somebody came through with like some argumentative, stance or anything like that. It could have been just you caught wind of something, or a manager type person, or somebody in your life whose opinion you care about might have said something to you or mentioned something, and you took it and you were like, whoa, what was that? And now, you find yourself doing some thinking about some of the personal traits, qualities, strengths, weaknesses, flaws, capabilities you actually have, and how that's expressed in the world. The Hermit card is saying that you're digging deep and you're analyzing one particular thing. You've decided to shine a light on one particular thing about yourself, and you want to really dive into that. And so you're taking some time. And it could be something as little as a physical flaw, which honestly, I hope that that's not what it is, because that's stupid. But it could just be something that you were triggered. You were triggered, you guys. Okay? So the Hermit card is saying you're digging down deep and you're looking into what that was. And maybe you're going into therapy. Maybe you're going to talk to a counselor. Maybe you're going to go say, hey, I want to discuss this issue that I'm having with myself and what this means. Yeah. And so the Seven of Cups next to that is saying that you do have options. So you've taken what you heard, okay? You've taken it in, you've downloaded it, as the kids say. Or how some dickheads out there go, that's a lot to unpack. I'm unpacking that right now. So you unpacked it, and now you're looking at some options you can. Some options you can, I guess, dive into, uncover with how to move forward. Does it mean that you have a conversation with that person and say, hey, I thought about what you said and turns out you're fucking wrong, officially? Or do you say, hey, I thought about what you said and I'm working on that? Or you do say nothing and just clean the slate and start working on a new version of yourself? There are many options you have. Now, this could be personal growth. If we're talking about just you generally in the world, Sagittarius, this could be you just saying, okay, look, I've got options. Now I got to think about it. End of story. It's as easy as that. So, but for sure you have options. You're checking them all out. You've got a decision to make. And I think you're taking this decision-making process very seriously. You're confused about something. Some of you guys could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and I feel like there's kind of manipulative energy, a little bit of lies, white lies. I think that you could be dealing with someone who you are intellectually superior to, for sure. And so, yeah, you just have a lot of options to explore here for some of you guys. You're doing some deep thinking about it. And that's something that's you dealing with this person who is intellectually inferior to you or is an air sign or something like that. That's one option. Alternatively, it could just be you feeling confused. You have two options. Each one seems like it could be good. Maybe two you can like knock out pretty easily. But like the 5 left, you're like, these are all good options. So you need to do some deep thinking. And I think your advice, if you're struggling with making a decision, your advice, I think, is with the Hermit card, choosing the option that seems most viable for your personal growth. Because if all of these options will make you money, if all of these options will make you happy in the short term at the very least, choose the one that will offer you most personal growth. And I'm saying that based off the Hermit card. Okay, so that's it for that fourth group of Sagittarius. Let's move on to all Sagittarius, general love. I'm doing a straight line across, just across here. I'm just going to tell you what's coming through for you guys in love. Now, take it how you're going to take it. If you're already in a loving relationship and it's like you guys are going to start fighting, ignore me. This is not your reading. You shouldn't be. If you're in a beautiful, healthy, happy, loving relationship right now, I really don't think you should be looking at this. If you're in a dating situation or you're single or you just broke up and you want to see whatever, all those like sort of up in the air energies for love, this is for you. If you're in a relationship and you're like, something smells fishy, then go ahead and watch this. But if you're in a good relationship, you can stop watching now, because all this is going to do is fuck up your brain. And frankly, if you're in a good relationship and you're watching this, then you're not in a good relationship, because clearly someone doesn't trust the stuff that's coming out of the other person's mouth. Someone asked me on the comments the other day, they were like, do a savage reading, which I thought was hilarious. Do a savage reading. I don't know what that means, but I'm into it. What do you guys want me to do? How do I do a savage reading? I'll do it. Okay, what's going on for Sagittarius in Law 18? Sagittarius in Law 18, what's coming through for you guys? Sagittarius, love story. Sagittarius love story. I think I'm pulling 7 or 8 cards. No clarifiers. Someone was like, can you do more clarifiers? Why don't you do your own tarot readings? You can do as many clarifiers as you want. Sagittarius, love, Sagittarius, love. All right, current situation, you guys. You yourself are in a state of contentment, generally speaking. Generally speaking. Some of you guys are either in a relationship or single, and you're feeling like, I'm okay right here for now. I have no immediate plans to make any kind of drastic changes or moves anytime soon, because I'm comfortable with surroundings. So some of you guys are in a comfortable situation. Okay, let's ease into it. We're gonna ease into it. Let's start there. Some of you guys are in a comfortable situation. So some of you guys have found yourself, you awake and you're maybe 3 years single and you're like, I'm actually okay with this. Or you're in a relationship, you're like, I'm in a relationship, I've been in one for 3 years and it feels okay. There's no real boat rocking. Some of you guys are perfectly content building your wealth or enjoying the fruits and labor and wealth of someone close to you, a partner. Some of you guys have a sugar daddy, whatever, it doesn't even matter. The point is that there's a sense of not being interested enough in any outside factors right now that's lighting any kind of fire under your butt to make a change. And then the obvious here is some of you guys are dating or seeing or with an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Whose energy is that? They're not actually interested in changing a situation. They're not like, you could be like, look, I'm trying to do this at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. You should join me. And they're like, no, that's not going to happen. So there's that energy. It's not complacency. It's not stagnancy, but it's definitely a very immobile. There's no movement here. The current situation. Let's see what else happens. I'm just going to keep pulling for this. So the environment, some of you guys do feel trapped. Some of you guys feel it's all mental, but you guys are starting to pull some victim moves here. And it's almost like you feel as if you are stuck between a rock and a hard place and you can't make a move. And it's because of, this goes back to, I think, reading 2, group 2, where you're like, I could be doing X, Y, Z, but I can't because of this situation, this stagnancy or this hold that I have, or this I'm locked into something. The King of Pentacles also is someone who is invested or interested. So when you say investment, you're locked in for the long term. So that's this energy here. But the current environment around you guys is that you do feel like you're stuck. You're stuck in something. So you have a hope that somehow, some way, here's the thing. What I'm already starting to see right now is that for Sagittarius, if you're in a relationship with someone, I do feel as if you are bored. I feel like you want movement, you want change, you want something exciting to come through, to happen in the relationship. You yourself have no problem. You're not a boring person, Sagittarius. You're always into something. You're always down to, go play tennis, go do this, go to the opera, you're always down to do something. Okay. And that's the thing. And I think that you're currently paired up with someone who's not that way, who maybe once was that way and they're not. And there's that feeling there. Okay. Now, if you're single, you could be feeling like perfectly content being single, because you're so busy with work. You keep busy with work. But at the same time, you're like, how do I break free of a work routine to start something new, or to begin a love life, or to begin a love scenario? So a hope is the Page of Cups. A hope is that maybe someone in your workplace makes it convenient for you, because if you date someone at work, at the very least, you're like, well, I can knock out two birds with one stone. Get flirtation on. There is some flirtation for some of you guys who are single. And if you're in a relationship, what you're hoping for is that suddenly, somehow, he or she, your partner, the person you have a crush on, the person who hasn't been making any moves or anything like that and making you feel trapped, they suddenly show interest by, like, maybe leaving you a note by your lunch, maybe bringing you coffee in bed, maybe sending you a cute little text saying, I miss you, something. So you're hoping, there's a hope there for you, Sagittarius, right now in love, that an expression of love or flirtation or interest is felt. What we know to be true, the Queen of Swords energy, right now we're seeing that you want to have a very honest conversation. I think that it's it's not long overdue, but it's time. And I think that for love, you're going to sit somebody down and you're going to have this conversation, or you're going to say, look, I need to know where this is going, how you feel. If you're already in a relationship, if you're single and looking for love, you're probably going to go on a date with somebody. If you're dating right now, and you're probably going to say, look, what are you after in love? What are you after in life? What are you after right now? Because I need to know. Because you telling me that whatever you're telling me is going to give me insight as to how I should move forward in my life. The Queen of Swords also means that some of you guys are dealing with let's just get the signs out of the way. Some of you guys are dealing with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It doesn't really matter, you guys. It could just have this energy. Oh, next to it. So it's almost like you and a potential soulmate, like, cross paths in the month of, like, just walking down the street, you guys cross paths. That's one scenario for you guys. The other scenario is that when you have this conversation with someone, when you have an honest conversation with someone, whether it's a crush, someone who's interested in you, you're interested in them, or it's someone you've been dating or seeing for some time now, this conversation is this guy or this girl, they're going to give you the truth, but they're going to be holding back. And it's going to be confusing because they don't even know what their truth is. So it's almost like a manipulative, unclear, confused energy that comes off as you feeling like, it goes back to reading number 4, you feeling like, this person's trying to play me for a sucker, and I'm not, and I see what they're doing. And so this is going to create a little bit of combustible energy here, because this person doesn't even know what their truth is. So how can they tell you their truth if they don't even know what their truth is? Because they're confused, right? So just be aware of that. 2 swords here, Sagittarius. 2 swords here for love, for it to be anything that, gets me excited for you guys. I think that 2 heavy conversations and a decision has to be made. I'll just pull out the last one. But then you have the 4 of Wands here. So I do think that has to do with long-standing relationship, long-standing energy. I think that some of you guys might ask a partner to pull the trigger. You need to make a decision. Are we in or are we out? And I think that the 4 of Wands is saying that ultimately the goal for both of you guys is to be together forever, is to have a long-term relationship, is to work it out, have a wedding. That's a goal. And right now I'm talking about the guys who are in a relationship, or at least dating someone. These heavy conversations need to happen, you guys. And I think that you're open to having this conversation, but the person is not open to having this conversation. So it might leave you feeling like you're the one who has to make the decision. Hey, look, I got me a ring. Let's go. Meet me at the chapel. It could be a feeling like that for some of you guys. So just be aware of that. I do think that some of you guys are dealing with a water sign, a Pisces. I also think that these conversations need to happen for sure. And it's almost as if you don't make that decision for them, they're not going to ever be able to make that decision because they're in a confused state of thinking. And I think that they're not moving fast enough for you. So that's leaving you thinking like, I want to be with this person. I love this person, but I can't wait around forever. So I'm going to make the move for us. Now that person is probably going to jump on board because you're going to be like, look, I made the decision for us. We're getting married, or we're moving in, or we're being in a committed relationship. End of story. And they're going to be like, okay, that's fine. Keep in mind though, If you do that, if you choose to do that, that could backfire later, because that person might be someone of a pentacle state where they move slowly. By the time they come to the realization that they're in this like 3-year relationship with you, they could be like, I'm over it. Like, how did this happen? I never said yes. You just got the lease on the apartment. I moved in. So be very clear about your intentions, about what you guys want to do. If you're single, I think that you will be invited to go to a wedding or an engagement party or something. At this engagement party, you could be doing a lot of chit-chatting with someone who is an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. That will not lead to anything but a good time. It will not lead to marriage. It will just lead to a good time. But you will meet someone at a social gathering like this. So look your best. Be very, gregarious. Be your charming self, Sagittarius. Because the reason why I say that you're going to meet someone there is because of the Page of Cups. You could be invited to go, asked to go last minute. And so that gives you a bit of anxiety. Like, I didn't know that this was happening, or is that this weekend? Oh God, I didn't know. So let me go get an outfit, and you're rushing around trying to go to this thing. That might give you a feeling of anxiety because it's last minute. But, to be honest with you, some of the greatest interactions and like surprise moments happen when you're not expecting it, when you're not prepared. You don't have time to overthink it. So you're just rushing and anxious and worried, and you just show up and you're like, oh, I don't know anybody here. I just showed up because boom, someone's like, yo, what's your name? I love that fucking spaghetti stain on your shirt. And then it's just a cute thing. So just be aware that that's kind of how it happens for love. Generally speaking, for Sagittarius out there, hopefully this resonated with a majority of you guys. But if it didn't, if none of this resonated with you, then, whatever. You had 4 other storylines that you could connect with. But let me see if there's anything else before I let you guys go. I got to hang up the phone. It's like 7 minutes. Just be aware that if you're dealing with someone right now and you're bored, know that your emotional boredom is not parallel with their financial stability that they're providing you right now. So there's a reason why some of you guys are sticking around somebody. And I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but look at the pinnacle. Okay, that's it for right now. And I will catch you guys for the mid readings. Hopefully this helped some of you guys. I don't see any like drama or anything. I just see a very realistic way that you're dealing with things for the month of March. So good luck with all of you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.